Behind every lesson, the reality of a teacher's life. What students see is a teacher standing in front of the classroom, but what they don't see is everything that happens before that moment. Hi everyone, I'm Teacher Jean as an international teacher here in Thailand, and welcome back to my blog. Today, I want to take you behind the scenes and share the reality of being a teacher, the things that happen long before a lesson begins. When people think about teaching, they often begin imagine a teacher standing in front of the class explaining lessons and checking activities or writing on the board. And yes, that's a part of our job, but honestly, that's only a small part of what we do. As teachers, a lot of our work happens when no one is watching. For me, preparation starts even before the school year begins. Before I meet my students, before I enter the classroom, and before I teach my first lesson, I already spent time preparing my term plans for term 1, term 2, and term 3. These plans serve as my guide for the entire school year. Dito ko pinaplano ang mga topics, learning objectives, assessments, at mga skills na kailangan ma-develop ng aking mga students. Parang roadmap siya na nagsisilbing gabay ko throughout the year. After preparing my term plans, I move on to my weekly plans. Every week, tinitingnan ko kung ano ang mga lessons na dapat naming matapos, anong activities ang gagawin, at paano ko masisigurong natuto ang aking mga students. And then comes the daily preparation. Ito ang bahagi ng trabaho na halos araw-araw kong ginagawa. Every day, I prepare my lesson plans, PowerPoint presentations, activity sheets, working sheets, assessments, and learning materials. At minsan, mas matagal pa ang preparation kaysa sa actual teaching itself. There are days when I spend hours in front of my laptop. Nag-i-edit ng presentations, nag-aayos ng worksheets, nag-print ng visual aids, nag-search ng ideas, at nag-iisip kung paano maging mas interactive at mas meaningful ang lesson. Minsan nga akala ko tapos na ang lesson plan ko. Pero bago matulog, may naisip akong mas magandang activity. So, bubuksan ko ulit ang laptop at magbabago na naman ako ng lesson. I think many teachers can relate to that. Because once you become a teacher, you might never really stop applying. Even during weekends, habang namasyal nanood ng videos o nagbabasa ng books, bigla ka na lang makakaisip ng activity para sa students mo. And honestly, that's one of the beautiful things about teaching because you are always looking for ways to help your students learn better. As a teacher, one thing that is very important to me is creating a classroom environment that support learning. Mahilig akong gumagawa ng classroom displays, maglagay ng educational posters, mag-organize ng learning materials, at mag-design ng learning corners. Some people might think it's just decoration, but for me, every display has a purpose. Every poster has a purpose. Every corner of the classroom has a purpose because I want my students to walk into a classroom when they feel comfortable, safe, and excited to learn. I want them to feel that the classroom is a place where they belong. Of course, teaching is not always easy. There are days when lessons don't go as planned. There are activities that don't work. There are worksheets that need to be revised. There are days when technology doesn't cooperate. And there are moments when you question yourself. Did my students understand the lesson? Could I have explained it better? What I can do differently tomorrow? These are questions that teachers ask them all the time because we genuinely care about our students and their learning. But despite all the challenges, there are moments that make everything worth it. The smile of the students who finally understands a difficult concept. The excitement when they discover something new. The confidence they gain when they realize they can do something they thought was impossible. Those moments remind me why I became a teacher. Teaching is not about books, worksheets, or grades. It's about people. It's about relationship. It's about helping students believe in themselves. And sometimes the smallest moments leave the biggest impact. A simple thank you teacher, a handwritten note, a smile, or a student saying, "Teacher, I understand it now." Those are the moments that make every late night, every revision. Those are the moments that stay with us. Every revision, every worksheet, and every lesson plan working. Teaching is not just my profession, it's my passion, it's my purpose, and it's a journey to continue to teach something new every single day. So the next time you see a teacher standing in front of a classroom, remember that behind every lesson is a story of preparation, a story of dedication, a story of patience, and a story of love for learning and for students. I'm Teacher Jean, an international teacher here in Thailand, and thank you for joining me behind the scenes of my teacher life. If you enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to like, follow, and join me for more classroom stories and teacher life content. See you in my next vlog. Bye, everyone.